All right. So, hey, did you know that the answer it depends for text game, right? There are many scenarios and also the inflation tariffs that can affect your results for text game. I know that sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing, oh, it's all about either a numbers game or it's 100% is the interaction, as they say. And text game is a result of that. Meaning, if the 20 out of 35 DVD burning interaction was bad, meaning that women are like a DVD, they burn pieces and pieces at a time. Is the audio clear? There's a microphone here. I have a fan here because it's too hot. Just let me know in the comments. But the DVD is how women burns the interaction. As long as loud and clear. You talk to her, she looks up and down at you, and then she's calculating the 20 out of 35. Looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10 for your ethnicity, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. 2.5 points each. 20 out of 35 gets you laid. So it's not a fixed score. It's not fixed at all. Women will just keep burning and burning and burning every minute that you're in the interaction, which is great. It's very sobering because if she's burning that information, then when you text her, she brings back out the disk, puts it in her brain, scans it logically. Is this guy worth texting back? Is this guy worth, and if she texts you back, doesn't mean she's going to go out on a date. She texted you back. But however, if she decides to go out on a date, which my students do not get flakes, then you'll know exactly what works and what doesn't. We'll go over every category. By the end of this, you'll know exactly if text game is all bullshit, a huge numbers game, or is it something that you can maneuver with and get her out? All the secrets revealed. Who will know better than the only coach that students do not get flakes when they leveled up? They don't even know what a flake is. Nobody asked me how do I deal with flakes on Elite Access. Not a single person ever asked me that. So, what I'm trying to say is that you think the interaction is bad, right? She will flake anyways, and it doesn't work. That's what you might think. Or these people with high SMV, they swear by it. There's like, I told others what to text, and they got laid from it. But in reality, a lot of people that did get laid from what they told were all tall white men. So there is maneuverability for taller guys. Hey, Mr. M, anything I use in real life, I use in text message when I talk to them. Uh, we can talk about text scheme on Elite Access, but Mr. M, do you ever get flakes from women, or is it very rare with my coaching? I mean, you don't always level up perfectly the body language. You're a bit lazy, but I don't think you get a lot of flakes. They do come out, unless I'm wrong. If you do, then you gotta fix it. But I don't think so. So I don't think any of my students, even your classmate, the 21-year-old guy, I don't even think he gets flakes. The women are coming out on a date. So, or as I'm trying to say, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets with you guys today that's going to revolutionize the way you understand text game. And you heard it from the horse's mouth. John Elite, the world's best day game coach, you're going to get exactly the clarity of if text game is bullshit or is it real. So, when does it work and when does it not work? It's all nuances and details no other day game coach would tell you. As I'm going to tell you in this sermon for my enlightened day gamers, because the other dating coaches, they don't know what they don't know. My students who leveled up doesn't even get any flakes whatsoever. No shit test, no LMR, none of that zombie stuff. Like I said, I'm Johnny Elite. I'm the world's best day game coach. In case you guys don't know, this is my second channel. I'm not posting this on the first channel because I'm punishing them because lots of them are turning MGTOW. And I'm going to create a new course called Don't Turn MGTOW. I'm going to create a new course with my Indian student. He's not really a student yet, but I gave him some tips. I usually don't get flakes, right? The interaction is solid before I go for the phone. Yeah, the interaction is already solid because you stand 45 degrees, you have elite tonality mastery, and you got laid. So See that, Mr. M over here? In real time, this was not planned. Usually does not get flakes. So how's that possible? Everyone, as all the other dating coaches would say, it's a huge numbers game. It's a game of volume. It's a game of stats. It's a game of like you got a huge volume. Say, come here real quick. Oh, red one, white one. Hey, let's go back to my place. And yeah, so that's the thing. Have like volume, and then that's how you solve the issue because you have to go into a funnel and you set up dates, and then shut the fuck up. All right. So, anyways, I was saying, don't listen to tall white dating coaches. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. If people like Mr. M gets flakes and stuff, I wouldn't have 666 laid and pulled testimonials. Notice the number did not go up as much as it should. I should make that don't turn MGTOW course soon. I'm thinking about $50, and you get a discount for Elite Bundle Resurrections if you choose to, or not. I'll film it very soon. I'll plan it, of course, but that's not the point. The point is that none of my students ask me this question, right? Like, hey, how do I reduce flakes, right? If she's flaking on me, what do I, Mr. M, right? Have you ever asked me like about how to reduce flakes in your life when you train with me, or you've never received flakes? Give it a thumbs up. Because I don't even think that after you start the body language training, right? Then you start the social skills flow drill and then the elite tonality mastery, right? I mean, have you ever asked me even once like about flakes, or it just doesn't even come up? You got so many lays with my training, multiple girlfriends at the same time. Lay, fuck buddy, that's a European woman. And now it's like lay, two fuck buddies. It's like, I don't even think you asked me. None of the students asked me because it's not something we will ever have to deal with. And it's the most frustrating thing because people are texting saying, well, how can I optimize a text? They go on these stupid Reddit forum groups where they basically have no expertise. None of these guys got laid in 2025. I looked. They're just having opinions as facts, not facts as opinions. I never asked about flakes, right? Not that I remember. I don't game. Okay, I don't game much either. No, I'm talking about in the past. For all these years that you know me, these few years, right? Like 5 years or 4 years. Have you ever asked me about text game or you haven't? I don't think so. None of my students have because they don't even understand what a flake is. They don't understand what a shit test is. They don't understand what is last minute resistance. They don't experience these things. I haven't, right? See? So it's not like, yeah, we're not planning this. He had no idea. I just told him like, hey, I'm gonna be on YouTube live to the group. So if he hadn't asked me, he doesn't get flakes, he gets laid. That's the only way you can possibly get 666 laid and pull testimonials, not just like zero like most coaches, or maybe two for this year for tall self-proclaimed coaches. Their opinions as facts. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. And that's an enlightened day gamer right there. That's one of my disciples. If I'm like Jesus, and I don't want to compare myself to Jesus, the Lord and Savior, who gives me the knowledge and wisdom. All these lay testimonials, I give Jesus credit because it wasn't black magic that got all these people laid. It was the Holy Spirit. All of heaven is helping you guys. It's almost like I could download the game from up there that all the naturals can do. All the naturals I know are very intuitive. I don't want to say psychic because the other hateful Latinos will be like, oh, John says he's psychic. No, but they all can almost read exactly what she's feeling. They're almost downloading every single second what to say next. They know. It's like heaven's game. We call it the mating dance up there in heaven. It's the same game. That's why it's almost my game is identical to all the naturals. But the naturals do not experience a lot of flakes. They do get flakes, but not like a lot. So when you level up completely, right? Because 55% is nonverbal communications, 38% is your tonality. And you got to hide the cortisol in your tonality because if your tonality sounds very stressed out and you're breathing out and stuff, and I made Marco go through everything. So he stopped doing this. I made him go through every elite tonality mastery course 6 times. So I read her emotions and body language. I know when to flirt and when to escalate. That's really good because if you're like an unteachable case and you're like a zombie, you cannot read her facial expressions, and it's good to listen to her voice, right? You can hear the stress unless you have alexithymia. I'm not labeling people, I'm just describing the characteristics where you cannot hear the emotions. But for you, If you can observe, that's very good because it's like Mayweather Jr. The guy cannot be hit, but he knows exactly when to counter, whenever you have to do it, when to move. But this is too profound. We got to keep it more simple. So basically, 55% is nonverbal communications. Mr. M always practices body language before. All these years, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, when you train with me, always body language. Now is tonality to hide the cortisol, which is the 38% is your tonality. You got to hide the cortisol and elite tonality mastery unless you get elite bundle resurrections. And most of you are scared when I say that because a lot of you turn MGTOW. That's not good. We got to stop this. So that's why I'm going to make a new course. I'll talk more about it. If anyone's interested, just contact me on WhatsApp. I'm thinking about $50. Anyway, 7% is words. So most of the pickup artists are using game tactics with words. Oh, I'm going to do some push pulls. I'm going to do this opener line, exactly what the coach says. Oh, I'm going to do this particular self amusement, or I'm going to do this DHV routine. I'm going to do this wonderful routine, and then I'm going to DHV it with every scripted line. But she's burning the DVD. They're trying to use game, looks, money, status plus that 7% and 2.5 point game, which is hardly anything. When their court is so filled, worshipers, because they worship tall white dating coaches, tall muscles, height, automatically trust. They're like the zombies on Reddit, which none of them got laid. I saw their stupid threads, and they have opinions as facts. And foolish people have that. We talked about the Bible before. If you haven't seen this, we went over a lot of quotes. A lot of foolish people are always dismissing the wise people stuff. The enlightened, wise day gamers will listen to me because I can give you information, data points that nobody else can tell you because they don't know what they don't know. And Mr. M over there is one of those people that basically doesn't get flakes. He doesn't know what a flake is. He never asked me how to reduce flakes. And he's getting laid all the time with my training. He's Latino. If you think it's hard being Latino, well, look at him. He's 5'8". He's not exactly tall. So how is he doing it? Because he's a ninja. He's a ninja. So yes, the interaction does help a great deal. And my students do get dates like Mr. M. So they don't use text game. In fact, I don't even teach them text game because for some unknown reason for the students, because they don't experience flakes. They don't actually know what flakes are. So they never been taught text game. You're like, well, what do you mean? Won't they just mess up because Todd V and all these other text game people like playing with dicks, right? Like, oh, you need more text game. But they're getting flaked nonstop even on Tinder. But Tinder is not the same as Daygame. So let's see, how many views here? We need more views. That's not good. But as I was saying, my students don't use text game. They rarely learn it because the women always comes out because of the interaction. So I don't understand why people are, you know, let's see here. I better change like the maybe like what I'm writing is not good. We don't have a lot of views here. That's not good because the less views, the less I'm gonna be motivated to ever show up. Let me just change the description a little bit. I think I can do it better for the um. All right, I'll change it for the other one. Bear with me. Ask me some questions, guys, about text game. I have a lot to talk about. There's so much I want to say, especially high SMV people too. There's so much I want to say. All right, let's continue. So there are some people with higher SMV that use text game, but not the low SMV or the high value unteachable cases. You're like, well, what's a high value unteachable case, John? Um, what is it? This is like a new term. There are lots of people that are unteachable cases that they're tall, they're 5'11", they have a decent SMV, they're decent looks, they're not like basically these guys, right? I have students that are very good looking, they're like 6'4", and they're full of cortisol. They talk super fast. They burn the DVD incorrectly in her mind, and they get flaked on, and they have a hard time, even though they're tall, they're good looking, they're white or whatever, they're white, black, Latino, they're tall. You think most people think they're gonna have it easier. In reality, they don't have it easier. They have it a lot harder because of the cortisol and the excessive Asperger syndrome. And they're like, "Oh, don't diagnose us, John." No, they're not diagnosing. They really are good at one thing, something logical or something that requires like a narrow focus. I'm describing you. And for them, they're used to having that one skill, but at the expense of everything else. Because they're so good at that one skill, they cannot do multiple things. They cannot do multiple things, so they always get stuck. So that's a high value unteachable case. Naturals will get her to come out, not all the time, because they do things automatically, but they will get her out to some degree. So, see here, how many views so far? I cannot see like how many views I'm getting, but I don't think I'm getting a lot of views here. There's no way it's just it says 2 views. What the fuck? It looks like this is our very last YouTube live if this continues. Maybe I have to give a thumbs up for the algorithms. Can you guys give it a thumbs up? I have to give myself a thumbs up because I don't see any. Okay, stupid. All right. So it's white dating coaches that have no idea what they're talking about. The number of closed videos, you don't see the aftermath. So whenever you look at a white dating coach, let's just say like Coach Kyle or Charisma King or something, Todd V, you never see what happens from open to sex. They always do the same thing like a zombie because the corpus callosum in the middle of the brain, it's called the reason why it's so hard to do the social skills flow drill for day gamers is because they have the corpus callosum issues. So let's see what it sounds like here. Hey, so it sounds very clear. Even though there's a fan here, it's almost like you cannot hear it, which is great. But the corpus callosum is, let's look it up on Bing. So corpus callosum, right? And autism. Okay. So, okay. So smaller corpus callosum. One of the most consistent findings in neuroimaging and autopsy studies for autism spectrum disorder is that people with autism shows a smaller corpus callosum. Okay. So that's why dating coaches, which I think are mostly autistic and Asperger's, right? Depending on if they're a former engineer. So, can texting be as powerful as verbal or no, no, no. Texting has very low effect unless you have higher SMV. If you have low SMV, you're texting, she'll just pretend to text you for validation, right? And then she'll just be like texting and she'll just ghost you at the end. Just to make herself feel better. So BC, if right now you're a bit overweight, no offense, bit double chinned, angry look, incongruent, you text her, burn the wrong DVD, she's not gonna reply. Kind of like the job interviews is a similar metaphor. But even if you start moving your face and stuff and you hide the cortisol in your voice and you still texted her, she'll just talk to you, but she won't come out. Does that make sense? I'm gonna go into details, micro details of everything very soon. So dating coaches, because of the corpus callosum issues, they will make a statement. You look like you are into yoga. And then she's like saying, no, I'm not. So it's 3 words. No, I'm not. And then they'll go, oh, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Corpus callosum is damaged, right? How about a question, right? Yeah, yeah, question. So what do you do to keep in shape? And then she's like, uh, go to the gym. 4 words, right? And they're like, oh, shit, shit. Okay, I can't ask another question. I cannot think of anything because their corpus callosum is the corpus callosum connects the left brain to the right brain. Make sense? In the middle, right there. It has a weak interconnection signal. So if you have Asperger's and let's say you were good at magic or something, right? Let's say that was your narrow focus. You spend all your neural pathways in it. You build everything around it. It makes it hard to learn a second skill. You can be world class at one thing, but you can suck at everything else. That's the corpus callosum. It makes it very hard. It makes it easy for people to quit, especially when they have hyper focus ADHD. Not diagnosing people, but if they cannot focus, they can only do the things they enjoy, they will not enjoy doing the drills. But for then the white dating coach would be like, oh no, I cannot ask a question. Let's make another statement. You also look like you enjoy art. And she's like, no, I don't. I can't draw. And then ask another question. Can you draw dicks? Ha ha ha, self amusement, ha. And she's like laughing. And then they go back to another statement. And then she says, I have a boyfriend. Bye. And they're like, oh, it's a numbers game. No, it's a corpus callosum because you can't do that triangular flow drill over and over. My 3MP student, he, for the social skills flow drill, I made him a piece of paper, like a triangle, right? And then he just keeps turning the triangle and he just does the step in front of him. He cannot remember multiple steps. I have many students that are, he's not diagnosed, but he is super Asperger's like. But I do have students that are diagnosed with Asperger's. They also cannot do multiple steps. It's almost like they can only do one step. A lot of the Latino day gamers almost have the same traits. I'm not saying all Latinos, I'm just saying the day gamers. None of them can do more than one steps. So this is why text game and the numbers are so flaky because the day game coaches goes out there, statements, short answer, questions, short answer, statement, short answer, statement, short answer, question, short answer, statement, short answer, and they keep doing that over and over. And you think, oh, she's giving positive reactions because mystery said is IOIs. But what they don't understand is that the more positive reaction she gives to you during the interaction, the more likely she's going to flake because she's trying to act cool in front of you because she's not interested. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense, John. That makes zero sense whatsoever. Explain it to us. What do you mean that when she's giving IOIs, isn't IOIs the most important thing? No, it's indicators of compliance. So let's see, text game. I'm going to change the title. Hopefully it gets more people. Or unless they're a bunch of megtels that really don't care about results anymore. Let's just see if that increases it. There's not that many views here. It's unfortunate. I'll text some people here. There's 3 people here. Where the fuck are you guys? Turn megtel. All right, let's continue. So, as I was saying, the number of closed videos don't mean shit because it's just statements, questions, statements, question, statement, question, statement, question. I have a boyfriend. And it's like, oh fuck, numbers game, get rejected. There's just a bunch of zombies. And you're like, oh, it's so confident. Look at Coach Kyle. Look at Charisma King. Charisma King has 0 day game late testimonials. He just has 1 student that pulled 3 times. White dating coaches rarely get late testimonials. They have like 3 at most in the whole career because they don't get laid during the coaching period, not during the boot camps. They cannot collect the late testimonials. Even if the students got laid like a numbers game after 8 months of mass approaching, they cannot collect a late testimonial because it doesn't work. So I'm going to share with you 3 secrets about interactions. Does it help a great deal for my students to get dates so they don't use text game? They aren't even taught text game. They can fuck it all up and she'll still come on out, which is kind of strange. But or else some higher SMV guys can use text game, but not the low SMV guys or the high value unteachable cases. Naturals will, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But then you can understand why text game isn't working for some of the low SMV samurais. We talk about samurais. What's the difference between a samurai and a ninja? A samurai likes to swing their big game sword. Oh, but mystery method, tactics, DHV stories, game, push pulls, challenging, self amusement, DHV, right? Sexualizing it. That's game. That's a swinging game sword. The problem is that when these tall whites coaches start teaching this to minorities, like short Asians and short Indians, right, with no value whatsoever. The short Indians and stuff, they get fucking demolished. They spend expense like they pay for expensive boot camps and they complain about my course being $1,000. What's their complaint when it's getting people laid? Their boot camps don't even work, but you can't argue with a fool. You can't argue with a fool. So that's the thing. So samurais that are tall whites and black samurai, you know, the tall guys who have higher SMV, the confident blacks. Text game might work for some of these people because they think it works for them because they're SMVing it. They don't even need any social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, but it's harder during an inflation and a tariff because minus 2.5 points for your emotional control. It can be the only category that's minus 2.5. But if you're a ninja, you need to have more skill maxing to raise your 20 out of 35 instead of more mass approaches during the inflation and tariff. That would have ripped you apart. And I know what you're probably thinking, right? Oh, text game is 100% real. You can control the outcome, right? Even with a badly burned DVD with a low SMV, right? But I'm saying the BC, right? Is banter over text any value? No value. Okay, what you don't understand is that for you, right? If you try to get a phone number close, being overweight, being short, and also like really bad game, really bad emotions, and also hunching and talking too fast, you're not even gonna get a time of day. And even if you try to banter on text, she's gonna give you one word answer, and then she's gonna stop texting you after like 3 texts at most. Most of the time, you just get ghosted. Does that make sense? When you're trying to be a samurai with no SMV, no offense, somebody has to speak the truth. So I'm gonna show you a great way you can understand where you're failing with text game and how to make it work again. Of course, without my training, you can at least know and have some clarity to be enlightened as an enlightened day gamer and get amazing results. But obviously, training is more important. So, what's the first secret? Okay. The secret is burning a DVD concept. Should I grab a DVD again to explain this? I'm not sure if I feel like it, but let's just say it's like a DVD, right? We talked about this before. Why women flakes, right? As soon as you approach her, she's already puts in a disc. Let's start burning the pattern information. So she looks up and down. Shoes, college student, looks upwards, you know, shoulders, weak, downwards, jeans, bench hold, upwards, Indian, downwards accessories, core Indian accessories, upwards, okay face, bench hold beard, double chin. Then she's already scoring you in the DVD in the beginning right away, burning the pattern. Oh, low SMV, this, that. Okay. She just pretend to be nice to you. And then the rest of the time when she's burning a DVD, you're like, oh my God. Not to be racist. I'm just saying, like, so that's how they talk like, because the nerves go up here, they get nervous. And instead, because they don't move their face, it moves their neck. So they get emotional. That's why Indians talk like that. I don't know why, but I'm just speaking the truth. The data points, they talk like that. Not all of them, but some of them. But that's the thing. When she's burning the DVD, right? And that's why she flakes. Or does she show up? The big idea is that women looks at your 20 out of 35. She looks up and down. And when she looks at everything, she's gonna bring back that disc. You text her, hey, nice to meet you, whatever, right? This is like some Indian name, Bin Pinder Singh, right? Or Singh Hortons. No, it's joking. And then what she's gonna do is she's gonna grab that DVD out of her brain, right? Let's take a look at it. I remember this guy. Okay, let's look at the disc. Let's read the disc, the patterns. Oh, that was a horrible interaction. Too gamey. This guy's kind of chubby. This guy has a bad accent. He doesn't speak properly. You know, maybe he doesn't smell good. No offense, but I'm just speaking the truth here. I don't care if I lose money for telling the truth. I don't feel like filtering what I'm saying. I don't want to walk on eggshells. You only get the unadulterated truth with John Elite here. There's no like, this is not marketing. This is not, you just get the truth. So she looks over at DVD and she gives you a little bit of answer, just not to feel bad, right? She doesn't want to be like prejudiced. So she texts you back, how I'm doing great. Then you feel like, oh, good or good. She texting me back. So what do I text her to John? And it's like, And then, oh, she's not replying now. I don't know why. I don't get it. A good she has a good interaction because she like giving positive reactions, right? John, John can transform me, my friend. Yeah, that's an important word, transformation. If you shoot down my ideas, right, and don't show up for the drills like unteachable cases, how can you transform? But when she's texting, that's what's happening. So the DVD determines everything. This is important because 20 out of 35, looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, game 2.5 points each. 20 out of 35. The only way that you can really learn how to improve some of the score for skills, for social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control is to drill it down over and over. It's called no stakes practice. Other people call it deliberate practice. Deliberate practice can break the bad habits, and in 21 days, it can build a new one. It's very hard to do. That's why whenever you have unteachable cases, they're always like, "Oh, I cannot believe I have to check in every single day." It's like, shut up. Why cry? It takes 21 days to develop a new habit. It's like, oh, magic tricks is like you only have to learn one way, and then you get. It's not gamify. You don't gamify things with one way. It's a skill set. It's like you can't take stuff that d like, whatever, and then bring it over to day game. It's not related. It has its own mindsets. It has its own skill sets. I was like, "Oh, but none of the other dating coaches are." It's like, "Shut up. This is like a total fool." In the Bible, they talk about fools. Fools don't listen to instructions. Fools are completely like the worshippers, always worshiping tall whites who are completely autistic and Asperger's, who are former engineers. That's why their stuff works. They're being exposed, but somehow I'm being gaslighted and fucking canceled, like because they want to write a fake hit piece, bad review. It's not a review; it's just a hit piece disguised as a review. But you don't get it. Why do they flake? Because he says he has been experiencing like sadness or depression for the last 2 years or something because the women don't come out on dates. Well, this is what's happening. There's just not enough points. It's minus 2.5, and there's no drills, and it sounds super depressed because communication is 55% for nonverbal, but their nonverbal sucks. And they sound like just lethargic and depressed, and their tonality is trailing at the end of the sentence. 37% is your tonality, 7% is the word. So all that shit that they learned before from all the other dating coaches who no longer get day game lay testimony, even if you tell them, he's gonna scowl like this and just bounces off of their brain. They just don't get it. They'll scowl like this as you tell them, where are their lay testimonials? They just dismiss it. They press a button, dismiss. Incinerator, dismiss. These are fools. These are people that are non-functional because they're uncoachable. But those are the guys who's gonna get flakes, and these are the high value unteachable cases. So it's not just LMS plus game, a numbers game. That might have worked before 2024, 2023, okay? Or 2022, unless you have higher SMV. But that's the first secret. And let's talk about a guy. This would debunk everything. Okay. I have a guy, I just posted his testimonial on the first channel. Although the voice sounds a little bit muffled because I have to lower it. Hopefully it doesn't crash my computer. But I can change his voice to higher so you guys can hear it better. Yeah, we should do that. I hopefully this does not crash the computer. I'll be back and I'll be talking. But I'm gonna open CapCut. Okay. When we hear his voice, we can hear his testimonial. Let's play it. All right. Open it right now. It might crash the whole computer, right? But we'll play what we can. So let's make the first part of the voice, right? Higher voice so you guys can hear it. Because before you cannot. Audio, voice changer. We'll just make it high so it sounds like a chipmunk. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I find a lot of information from China, and just to show off my Chinese pride, I want to say，不管是在经济上还是在科技上，我永远都会是中国人，纯中国爷们儿。
Okay, so he's Chinese.
Basically, in Chinese, but my story is that I have a good height and some good-looking face, at least for Chinese, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, the US. It's still really tough out here for us Asians in dating, whether it's in Daygame or online. I started with simple pickup, got some confidence, just spam and crouch. Yeah. Zero results and lots of flakes.
See, he's talking about flakes now. This guy is 5'11", Chinese, and he looks like a dating coach, and literally has like one lay before my coaching. You're like, well, that's impossible. You don't know how fucking low the SMV of Asians are when you're Asian washed. Literally, even on Tinder, literally zero lays. You're like, well, what the fuck? This guy looks like a K-pop artist. You're like, holy shit. That's impossible. But I got him laid. And here's the thing. He never even approached for a month because his girlfriend came back. And then he had to sneak out to be like walking. And he was practicing and sending me on elite access. He only made 3 approaches afterwards. After a month, his Indian friend gave him the hotel. Like, that means approaching does not get you laid. If this guy can get laid without approaching, and only made 3 approaches that day, that means 1 to 6 approaches. A lot of my students, they get laid. Like, that's impossible. Well, let's listen to the evidence. Let me know if you guys can hear it clearly. Hopefully.
Right. Tinder? Yeah, that's some matches, but never done it. It's ridiculous. I think there's something, I might be just cursed or something, but
You're not cursed.
I think even if maybe it's just my pictures are so bad, but or my text thing is so bad, but I got zero results, zero
Let's see if I can change your voice a little.
dates, even not just results, zero dates from Tinder or any online dating. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it
Yeah,
sounds
I don't
like
do
girl.
that anymore, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, and then I discovered Justin Wing's game. And he's really flashy and romance and touchy, stuff like that. Yeah. And then so I tried. I got his product from a place. I put until I put one girl home.
So basically, Justin Wayne's game does not work. It only like led to a 6-month social circle thing. It was bullshit. Game does not work. He got flakes, like nonstop flakes.
To 2 years. 2 years of coaching.
It took 2 years just to get a 6-month date to close. Is that working? No. Mr. M gets laid very quickly. They're like, well, what the fuck? But he's Chinese in United States.
Eventually, I got the lay. And, she that became my girlfriend. Like, the lay and girlfriend came after, like,
Oh shit. Okay, is this working? No, it's not. So can you hear my voice at least? Shit. I don't see any camera on here. Okay, we're back. All right, we're back. So, hopefully you guys can see me. Am I back? Can you guys see me? I'm back, right? I'm back. Anyways, I was saying, right, for the yeah, I'm glad I'm back. So anyways, that testimonial, right, crashed the thing because I was using CapCut, but we'll continue, right? I'll try to delete this part later on when this thing is fully functional. But long story short, if you want to see the testimonial, it's on my first YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it. This guy, long story short, he ended up getting laid with my coaching in 3 approaches, you know, just 3 approaches, and he got a same day lay. And all of it was just from practicing drills. He never made any approaches before that because his girlfriend came back. So if you want to see that, that's just proof. I know that it'd be disappointing. We cannot hear the exact proof here, but I tried. But yeah, want to make sure other people know that we're still back, right? that we're back. So good. I'm glad there's two people here asking questions, right? I'll try to delete this part later on when this thing renders properly. Back, crashed, working now. Let's get into the second secret. Okay. I have to let people know I'm back, otherwise they're not going to be here. It's very disappointing, but all right. Let's continue. So what's the second secret is that the answer depends on low SMV samurai game or low SMV ninja game or high SMV ethnicity, height versus high SMV unteachable cases, full cortisol versus naturals, right? So there's a different types. We're gonna go over every type and what does text game still work for and who doesn't work for. All right. Thank you for being here so far. Give it a thumbs up. Every bit helps. Every bit helps. So now that we're back, right? Every bit helps. So what's the difference between all these people? Let's see if it's loud and clear. So what's the difference between all these people? Oh, it sounds very clear, so that's fine. All right. So we'll start with the first ones, which is sorry, I'm very distracted. So the main thing to understand here is that the answer varies, right? Because it depends on the situation, but we can break it down based on the data, based on my students generally. Since I'm not talking on my ass here, like Reddit worshippers or worshippers with opinions as facts. I know I see these things and I'm imparting the enlightened wisdom. That means low SMV samurai. So let's start with the first one, okay? So let's just say you're playing samurai game. So you're just mass approaching mystery method tactics, RSD method, like mass approaching. But you're learning from taller white guys who basically have no skills whatsoever, socially impaired, corpus callosum issues. And for them, they teach you this method of direct game, squaring off, talking super fast, a bunch of statements, sexualizing it, whatever the hell, self amusement, and then get a phone number close in like 30 seconds, even like a minute. Very quick. So that is called the samurai game for low SMV people. I'm back. It crashed. So, of course, I would say that for them, text game right now does not work. You're like, what? I'm going to tell you the truth. All right. Give it a thumbs up. If you're low SMV right now during an inflation when you have minus 2.5 points, and you also are broke and you're turning slightly MGTOW, and the other dating coaches are not getting students laid, only I am. I can almost tell you that you will not get laid unless you're trained under me. You have no chance whatsoever. This is not just marketing and just speaking the truth. I want to be enlightened. I don't want to, I don't want to sugarcoat things. There's only one person here. That's not good. What happened? Did it crash again? So that's the first type. I'm sorry to be like the bearer of bad news, right? For low SMV people. Why look so blurry? What the fuck? But yeah, if you're low SMV, right? I'm glad you're back, right? But if you have low SMV, right, it's very unlikely it's gonna work for you. I hate to say it because I want to tell everyone that it's all game and it'll work for you. But man, it's a fucking tariff. They literally like it's like a dropping a nuke on people. It's like, okay, we're gonna tariff every country now, and that's gonna fuck up the economy. And they're like, oh shit, let's go approach. Nah, turn MGTOW. Low SMV people, no fucking chance. Don't even try. But you could try. But if you try to play a samurai game, swing the big game sword, I can guarantee you nothing but absolute pain and suffering. to the worst degree that you've ever experienced. And I hate to tell you guys the truth, but somebody has to tell you the truth. Even if it risks losing money, I could lie to you guys saying it's all about game because that's where I can make even double the money just by telling you it's all game. Game is everything. Game, game, game. But no, game is going to get your fucking teeth knocked out if you have low SMV and you're out there this year. So the second type is that they'll fail 2025, 2024. My enlightened day gamers who have low SMV, right? They're ninjas. Ninjas, instead of swinging a big game sword, they have to level up the drills for 21 days and many skills, okay, together. They're going to make it. They're the ones who do not get flakes. They get dates. It's just a matter of skill to close. They have to get her back home and do the arrow science. They're going to get laid if they do everything I say, including learn elite tonality mastery, along with arrow science, maneuver, sexualized objections, looping. They'll get laid. But that 21 day to get that focus, in the first 3 weeks, you might bench hold and run away from the homework assignments. You might feel so lazy, ADHD, you're affected by the fucking inflation, megtailed to shit and back. You might be completely fucked. But eventually, after 3 weeks or a month, you learn how to get those 21 days in there without more than two-day breaks in between or 3 days. So you build the new habit, the neural pathways. It's like a bunch of eggs with wires coming out of it, scrambled eggs. Not scrambled, but those big eggs that, like, you know what I'm talking about? You just put them on a pan. That's what a neural pathway looks like. And then they have these wires connecting and they touch each other and they get connected. And that becomes a new neural pathway. Those two will create new connections. That's why reading is very good for you. You always create new connections and you become more wiser. But those guys will get laid because they'll be creating new neural pathways. So it's not really about skill maxing. Skill is one thing. It's about neural pathway maxing. It's about breaking bad habits, rebuilding new habits. They'll get laid. So what about the third kind? Okay, as long as they can keep the 21 days, then their habits will change. So when she burns the DVD in her mind to see, right, the interaction, looking up and down in every second, she's going to have a new thing burned. Because I once had a 5'7", 55-year-old student. He was a 52 at a time. One time, this woman, she's like 25. First time he pulled her, he did not close her. The second time, after many months, he came back with a new body language from Kaizen. Of course, Latinos cannot join Kaizen anymore because they're always going to show up like after like 5 days or a week. They're not going to build neural pathways. They're going to run away and then they're going to blame it on me. You know, you have to be a complete sociopath to not do the homework assignments and run away and blame it on me. But for everyone else that gone through the program, Kaizen, the ones who finished it, every single person like got laid, or even if they had to wait a little bit afterwards, like a month or two, everyone got laid. The 5'7" guy who's like white and German, bald, ugly. For him, when he was like 52, the second time he went back, she saw him and his body language changed. He started talking slower. He had a whitewashed tonality. His social skills were perfect. And all of a sudden, she got so fucking wet, she was just drenched in 30 seconds. You see that? When she's burning the DVD, she's already saying yes. And what happened was that she literally says, like, don't hold my hand, right? And he's like, what do you mean? Don't hold my hand, because he's an old fuck, right? He's ugly as shit. Don't hold my hand, but bring him back home. That's what she says. And he did it. She went into his room looking for any equipment, like recording equipment. Maybe she thinks he's a dating coach. Who knows? Because the way he acts. And then there was none. And then she had sex with him. And she's really pretty, by the way. She's like 8 out of 10 in looks. It's like, what the fuck? She's really, really pretty. She's better than anyone that for other Latinos that he can get. She looks like a Latina, but she's Middle Eastern because they have dark hair, you know, the same kind of thing. Maybe not as big hips, but she has big boobs, and she's really pretty. Most guys would be like, "What the fuck? That's even prettier than any girlfriend they have ever gotten." Of course, this guy also banged 10 out of 10, like a Megan Fox looking blonde German. He's also banging 8.5 out of 10. You know, and his first lay for Kaizen. This is the second lay. The first lay was like in a week. He bangs at 8.5 out of 10. Second one was like after the course. It was probably like 2 weeks afterwards. After all that discipline, At first, he didn't like me because I was too like he needed to get laid with a 20-year-old something because his friend did with my coaching. The dumbass went to someone else for coaching in between, and then he got laid right away on their boot camp. And it's like, wait a minute, this is all John's training. It has nothing to do with their ones, just a little bit. The dumbass, right? It's like, dude, I told you this stuff works. And then he crashed out afterwards when he came back for training. He's like, he dismisses it. I was like, well, look at all your best friend over here, your wingman. He got like fucking, he's banging a 10 out of 10. He's banging like a fucking 9 out of 10. He's banging like an 8.5. He's banging like an 8. He's banging like a 6 point something with a nice body, with like a 8 or something, 8 point something body. So what the fuck are you talking about? All these other students, they all got laid. This guy got laid. This guy got laid. This guy got laid. And it's like, oh, he crashed out exactly like an unteachable case. And I told him like, and then I blocked him. He blocked me. And then it's like, dude, every single person that has thin skin and then gets triggered are narcissists. Because if they're narcissists, they usually have other traits like the dark 3 or dark 4. Dark 3 is dark triad. Sociopath, narcissism, Machiavelli manipulator. Or it's dark 4 sadism if they smear campaign you because they're sadistic. But that's the point. That was one of the people that I just got turned off by. It's like, fuck. I mean, look at Europe. They're just bench holding. But what I'm trying to say is that for the other 52-year-old student bald, she, as soon as the DVD burned properly, she fucking opened her legs. The third lay, one approach, one phone number close, she comes out. There was no like 1 in 6. It was just like one shot, one kill. Metaphorically speaking, one shot, one kill. One shot, one kill, like 3 times in a row. Like, what the fuck? How is it possible? But it is possible because if you burn the right DVD, then there is no text game. You can fuck up everything on your text game, right? Big text, triple text, they'll still come out because I don't have to teach them anything if they get this handle. Does that make sense? So maybe I should upload his testimonial over here, and then that way we can have an archive, we can play it. But I do have it somewhere. I do have it somewhere, like all of it. But we're kind of like distracted because you guys know I have late testimonials, the most in the world. We don't have to keep playing every single one, but that's a low SMV, guys. Also, there's other people that are tall whites and tall blacks. They're confident, tall whites, tall blacks. Some of them have some social skills. They'll get laid because they think, oh, if I use some text game, and then she comes out. They're overvalued. If you break down looks, money, status, right? That's more like value. Skills is social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. Game is not a skill. Game is just a LMS delivery system. Like, what the fuck you say, John? I said game is not skills. Game is a LMS delivery system. Game is just basically your way to vibe your looks, money, and status. Just by showing up, giving direct compliments, playing a numbers game, just as, and then see what you can collect out of like thousands of approaches. So game is not skills. But however, those 3 skills, social calibrations, emotional control will equal value. They'll add to your 20 out of 35. That's what the ninjas can do. But the samurais, they don't get those things. They might use a little bit of vibe. They might try vibe it with emotions, a little bit of confidence. They'll vibe their SMV. So they have maybe 1 point for emotions and basically like 1 point for game. That's like 2 points plus the rest. Looks, money, status, a huge numbers game. And back then, if you're 5'9", the national average, right? Whatever. But if you're 5'8", you have to add 200 extra approaches. This is called a fail-safe system. You're 5'7", another 200 approaches. 5'6", another 200. 5'5", 5'4", another 1,000 approaches. Get it? The fail-safe used to work before the 2023, 2024, and 2025 inflation, before the tariff. It used to work. People could just mass approach and they get laid eventually. Now, unless you're 6'2" and you're really, really good looking, like super good looking, you get a fuck ton of rejections, you might get somebody. But for the rest of you who are not ninjas, who are listening to the other dating coaches, the global game platform scamming networks, you have 0 chances to get laid. I hate to say it, I'm not marketing, I'm not trying to screw the competition and try and undercut them and trying to manipulate you. I'm just telling you guys the cold, hard fucking truth that nobody will tell you. I'm telling you things that could hurt my business. When I could say it's all game. I'm telling the truth. This is the gospel of Daygame. I don't feel like lying. Somebody has to fucking say it. Unless you're leveling up the skills to be a ninja, nobody wants to be a fucking ninja because of the hyper focus ADHD. It's not fun. I don't like working out because I don't get any muscles and I get like even fatter. And then, it's like I understand what it feels like. It feels like torture. They must feel like torture when you have to do the drills for 21 days. But that's what gets you results. That's what gets you laid. I hate to say this. Here's the truth. The samurais, unless they're super high value and they're not in the Western country, they're in a different place, throw a country, or maybe a passport, bro. They might get something. They might get something. But when you're in the West and you're, high value unteachable case, you're fucked. And if you have low SMV, you try to do samurai game tactics, you have zero chance. In fact, this is the fastest way you could quit game and get angry at it and turn Megtail. If you listen to the samurais. But he said looks don't matter, race don't matter, height don't. They don't even have a fucking seam delay for open sex. But you say it to the haters, to the worshippers, it'll bounce off their brain. They have no critical thinking. They'll do the opposite. So that's the thing. These guys with height will say, like, I told my friend what to text, and it works for them, but their friends are always a tall white guy. Of course, the guy already has a 10 out of 10 perceived natural status. How would it not work? With some text game to raise some points. Of course. Nobody wants to hear the truth, but somebody has to say it. I get less people. You see that? 2 people now shows up because what I'm saying is just it's so hurtful to hear. But I don't care. When Jesus preaches the gospel, when other people do, Moses, when they're not here to make you like them. They're just here to talk about the truth. Somebody has to say it. And maybe it's not all about money. Somebody just has to speak the truth. Because that's why people trust me, the enlightened day gamers. Because I can't even filter out shit. I'm like Dan Pena, right? I'm not trying to be nicer because, there's the tariff, inflation, and people are. I just want to tell you guys the truth. Who's going to tell you? Name one day game coach who will tell you these things. Nobody. The naturals will get laid, but not all the time. Would they be affected by the inflation? Not really, because they're also skill maxing, but they don't do drills. They're not. They're born ninjas. They're like ninja masters without training like a ninja. The naturals will get laid. Some of the numbers will flake, but a lot of them will come out because they have skills without drilling it down. They're like, fuck, man. Like, seriously, that's crazy. And also, another student, we'll go back to it, because another student that did not use any sort of game, he also got laid on the first channel. I'm going to post more testimonials soon. Okay. Not this guy, but we didn't even hear his full testimonial. People got bored. I wonder if you can hear it. I'm not sure.
So I am playing on
We'll continue where we left off.
YouTube. Just watching.
Can you hear it, or is it garbled? Let's see if we can continue because it crashed it last time. I tried to change it, but it might actually kind of work. Like you can kind of hear it if I use the speakers over here. It is entirely possible. I could be wrong. But if we use the speakers, right, over here, you might hear some of it, even though it's a little bit garbled, right? Because the voice is lower. I think you can hear it. Let's play it. Yeah, you can probably hear it.
Without read access. It was pretty cool.
All right.
I see the remote approaches. Killing us approach. George, I thought we were the same.
Okay, should be here somewhere.
And she became my girlfriend like her girlfriend came after like months. I enjoyed myself yet, but it doesn't really count as dating. It's more like social circle game, the traditional dating.
We'll make it faster.
Yeah, it's definitely not dating. And girls in college as well we're in the same social circles, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's faster.
Just like there are like hundreds of approaches before that. 100%. like a success rate. People have success. And example, trying to target you. And he really explained that just watching it or just the way others method doesn't work. Like for example,
Yeah, I made a video talking about why Justin Wayne's method is bullshit and is not going to work for low SMV guys. This guy does not have low SMV. I explained how if you use romantic flirts, that's like boyfriend and girlfriend frame. There's 6 frames. Fuckboy frame, same day late guy, or quick sex. Second frame, boyfriend girlfriend. Third frame, social circle friend zone frame. Number 4, husband material. Number 5, sugar daddy frame. Number 6, high status frame. So you have to choose which frame to use. And however, the boyfriend girlfriend frame only works for taller guys. So if it worked for him, the higher value guys, it doesn't work for anyone else. Of course, there are some people that change it to romantic sexual, but they always use alcohol in the bedroom, even their students. But that no longer works during the inflation. So therefore, romance is a kill zone. It'll destroy all your results. You will never get laid during the inflation of 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, because romantic flirts or romantic sexual flirts don't work. There's no Daygame late testimonials or bootcamp documentaries. It's always stuff from below, like before 2021 and before. The game has expired. So I know this is boring you, but I'll get through it quickly. We'll just stop as soon as we hear that he got laid.
like all times to have my consistency. I feel a bit of just lost and coach. John had this loyal event from his street. He died in window and elite access. So the first one was made elite. I had another month with elite access. And yeah, got only with heat, white girl, with what the purchase. Always
See that? Cute white girl, 1 day 3 approaches.
just it does actually work out very slow and to be honest. It's not the reasons game. It's still months compared to years with other people's methods.
It would have been faster, but he didn't pay for elite access. Now it's part of elite bundle resurrections. And also it used to be called elite bundle too. But yeah, it works really well, despite what people say.
Actually, the first month improved. Even I was really slow with that because I had years of habits from the past, coaching or just in life. I was teaching all the time and I didn't follow Sean's teaching completely because of my just mental filter. I didn't realize before John taught me, even if I was always able to simply consistently pull without being without was pretty cool. And secondly, it's just people it's just how he had anyway. It's too old to check out at all. It's just pretty low.
Yeah, his girlfriend literally went back and lived with him. So therefore, he cannot actually get, like, he cannot use the pole location. So how is he supposed to get laid? So we had to be creative. We had to figure it out. That's another problem to deal with. So how did he get laid?
That's why I got the access. Yeah, she didn't do it for
He didn't do a single fucking approach for a month. He just went for a walk and then he practiced. Like, well, that debunks the whole numbers game and that you got to play a numbers game. If she didn't flake because it was a same day late, but it was more like he set up a date during the same day. It wasn't like a open to sex. It was like open, phone number close, set up a date, sex, same day late. Make sense? So it was a number close, but there was no flakes because he was practicing for a whole fucking month behind the campus. And that's the only way he could sneak out telling his girlfriend who came back to his pole location that he's going for a walk, but he's secretly for 15 minutes every day practicing. You see that? 15 to 20 minutes. He just kept practicing the social skills flow drill and he just kept practicing the body language. It was dismissed by the haters. I don't care if there's only one person here and just dropping off because you don't want to hear this. Fuck you, but I'm gonna play it anyways.
because I remember these people, like, they say, wait, my girl, go out, or I just sneak out. You know, even so that you have to really go through my training. So the was always there for me. So I was really had like a training state. So she's just, I listen. me take meat, go make some like killed.
Yeah, his friend is Indian. So his friend says you can borrow the hotel if you like.
Let me pull his hotel. Okay, right, right before.
All right, we're done with the testimonial section, okay? We'll turn back on the fan. I don't want to bore you guys to death. Okay? So we're done with that part. Now that you've seen it, right? That's just proof right there. I know it's hard to hear his voice, it's a little bit garbled, but if a person can get laid, right? And this is a guy who's trying to use samurai game. You can see that samurai game, right? By game tactics. While tall whites and tall blacks can tell each other what to text and get themselves laid and say, but however, a tall, good-looking Asian does not have enough value to play the same samurai game. You see that? He had to be a 5'11" Chinese ninja to get laid. A 5'7" Chinese ninja. Does that make sense? So there is no like fucking yeah. In the naturals, they get laid easily. Let's talk about third secret. Okay. Before we go into third secret, right? Let me call some people out. Everyone left again because I was playing a testimonial, right? Don't worry, I'm done with that one. Just calling some people out here. But listen, we have to speak the truth. So that's why I played the testimonial. All right. So what's the third secret? If there's like one person here, right? Thank you for being here, whoever you are. But man, that's kind of rough when people want to ignore miracles because they feel bad. Thank you for being the only one still there. Right? You have any questions, right? Mr. B, feel free to ask. I'll answer them. I'm just speaking truthfully. While I wrote a script, right before I came here, I just basically decided just to tell you guys the truth. You know, I don't feel like spinning information. Like, why should I? We're going to go into the third secret. Okay. If we don't have enough views for any of these videos, I will leave it for another day and not write a script. I'm serious. If you guys don't care, then I don't care. But I'm showing up daily. And all I ask is just people listen. I'm not asking much. You know? I'm not asking much. There's only, you wouldn't believe this, but there's so few views right now, right? It's like, well, are you sure you want to learn this? It's like, I'm telling you guys the secret. 2.5 hours of watch time. That's pathetic. It says there's 12 views. What the fuck? I know there'll be more later, but that's pathetic. It's almost like people turn MGTOW because the third secret is externally the inflation and tariff does not create, it does create the loser effect, the winner loser effect concept. This is not Tinder where you try to match and text down to fuck women and say, what are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for the same thing. And then try and move her to WhatsApp. It's not the same thing. This is Daygame with women who are not down the fuck yet. And you're using RSD and mystery method Daygame for the interactions. And it's like zombie-like and completely stupid, mixed with more cortisol of the loser effect. The more you win, right? The more testosterone you get. That's the winner and loser effect. So when you look at my Pakistani mentor, he's always winning. So he's always approaching more. And he's always going out there and he's going to other countries. And then he's obsessed because he cannot stop fucking winning. Right? Okay, thank you. There's 6 people here. Thank you, right? Maybe I was playing a testimonial and bored people. But my Pakistani mentor keeps winning. That's why he gets more testosterone. He gets like a square jawline. So drills are the key. It is the key. John is the secret. Can't succeed without his guidance. You really, really cannot, right? I let JP join the inner circle. You know that? The secret sauce. Thank you, John. So how are you liking the first video so far on the social skills flow drill? And I better introduce you to the inner circle soon, okay? Just to let you guys know, Mr. M, everybody else, right? And I should add you to the WhatsApp group. JP is part of the inner circle. A Latino student. Even though he's not approaching as much, you see how much compassion I show to my fellow enlightened Latinos. They're treated like family. They're treated like family. The 12 samurais, the ones who basically are lazy, who don't do the work, who's gonna get flaked on, they're treated like worshippers, worshipping tall white plausibility, not getting laid. They're completely stupid fools. Just JP, tell people like what you think on the first lesson so far. You didn't have time to go through it. There's stuff I never teach on YouTube. They're all secret sauce stuff. I uploaded more of the videos back. So basically, the more you lose, right, the more cortisol you get. So what the hell is cortisol? So cortisol is a stress hormone. It makes you double chinned. It makes you fatter. It makes you like really stressed out. My students, they take ashwagandha, and then the haters, right, the worshippers will be like, "Oh, you should not take ashwagandha because high doses is liver toxicity." Shut the fuck up. These guys have so much cortisol, right? For the pickup artists, there's not enough ashwagandha in the world to even counter it. It's like throwing a fucking like a big stone into a pond, right? You know, and that pond is full of cortisol. You might make a small splash. That's all you can do. It's like you don't have to take it indefinitely. And it's, oh, he's prescribing. He's prescribing. It's like, dude, how can you prescribe something that is over the counter, right? You can buy it from Amazon, right, or pharmacy, right, over the counter. How is that even fucking like prescription? It's like ridiculous. Oh, but he's diagnosing. Dude, a lot of pickup artists are gaining weight. They have a lot of cortisol. You cannot tell me that's not true. They can't even sleep. Their hair disappears. The first video has so much value on its own, it should be a high price, right? The first video I could probably sell for like 500 bucks, right? And call it social skills flow drill, maybe $600 alone, right? Just for like that video. Drop a like and share. Thank you. Every bit helps. So cortisol makes you double chin, all that stuff, and sound depressed, making it harder. So when she's burning that DVD, right, of your patterns every second, you're almost forced to lose. That means you cannot win in 2025 if you don't have your cortisol taken care of. And also if you don't have your money taken care of, you'll start to bench hold. You start to crash out. Like you cannot focus when the money is not there and you're in survival mode. Does that make sense? You become very stressed out. And that's the thing. You know, if you don't train with me, you're gonna lose. You have to level up to be like a natural. And what JP learned from that social skills flow drill is that that's like what naturals naturally do because they naturally talk to everyone. And social calibration is body language, which you're going to learn. Emotional control. LMS plus game will not save you. Samurai game is you're going to lose unless you have super high SMV. And you approach for at least like 4 months in a row. And then you get rejected every single time you'll close somebody. If you're 6'2" and you're like 9 out of 10 in looks, despite your race. Only that would you maybe get results after we're talking about like over 1,000, like 800 approaches in 2025 without my coaching to boost up the skills. I must be exploding with cortisol because all I do is lose. That's right, because the more you lose because of ADHD, right, the more cortisol you get. So that's why you're getting like double chin and gaining weight and losing your hair. So and then you lose again. You don't do it, you procrastinate, right? And then you start to look more stressed in your job interviews. And then you go in a downward spiral, a loser effect. It's like the losers will keep losing. The winners will keep winning. Isn't that weird? It's almost unfair. This is called a social dominance hierarchy. It's not something I made up. The winners will win more, the losers will lose more. If you had two mices, right, and you put them in a tube and they had the battle, right, to see who pushes each other out. And then you just on the back, right, you use a toilet paper roll or something and you push that rat all the way through and knocks out the other rat. What's going to happen? The rat that pushed the other mouse out, right? The one that fell first is going to have more cortisol. So this is not just a human thing. It's an animal kingdom thing. It's going to start to lose again the next battle. The other rat who had been pushing out the other one because you helped it it's going to have more testosterone. Do you see? Just like a natural. They're going to win more. They want more. They're going to keep approaching more pussy, more approaches. Because the more they win, the more they'll approach. And the avoidant people that in my training, they run away, the unteachable cases, because they're losers. They lose more because they lose, but they're like, oh, I'm winning in my category for my job. But how much money do you make after like fucking expenses and virtual assistants? Like, wait, you what? You make 20,000, but 18,000 expenses. You have a 2,000, right? And you got to pay the rent and shit. It probably makes like 3,000 or something. It's like, what the fuck? That's not way to live. They're losers. But I used to be a winner. It doesn't matter. All Latinos that are tall samurais used to be winners. Back then, multiple girlfriends each. Now they're all losers because they refuse to be a ninja, like a natural. And that's why they're turning MGTOW due to Trump tariff. This is key because the winner and loser effect. My Pakistani mentor gets women who are 9 out of 10 before. I saw them, 15 of them in a row. They all look like Instagram models. And I was living in the inner circle mansion of players and naturals in Vancouver. And also other people visit from the United States. I get to learn from them too. I get mentored by many naturals. They always tell you everything. Every natural tries to impart every single strategy towards you. But the real strategy is social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control. They have it automatically. They have it automatically. So the loser effect happens to zombies. They'll take less risk. They'll mass approach. They'll get rejected. I know what you're thinking. Oh, but text game, John. But what about tall white coaches that tells you that there's such a thing as text game? Like tall self-proclaimed high leg count coaches for fucking Tinder and shit. Or else like the Tinder's not Daygame. Or a tall playing with dicks. They're like, this is text game, super gamey shit. Well, the tricky thing is that my students, when they level up, they don't get flaked on. Like Mr. M over there, I asked him. He does not get flakes. He doesn't know what a flake is. It rarely happens. My students don't know what flakes are. The 3MP student has like 3 dates. Tall, white, unteachable cases for one student. He has 11 dates so far. 11 just by taking elite bundle resurrections. Although he's a bad student, he shot down all my ideas. I said that is your responsibility. You cannot blame the coach if you shoot down the ideas. He said, "I gotta work on my muscles first, and then I'm gonna get laid with a woman that's like 5 out of 10." She's gonna no. I say, you're not. You need to work on your social skills flow drill. He dismissed like a fool, exactly like the unteachable case here. They shoot down ideas like the Iron Dome. Even the Bible talks about the fools. The fools, right, who basically shoot down ideas. You know, a 21-year-old Latino got laid. He's about to get a girlfriend soon. Indian student got a white girlfriend, and he's going to propose to her. So, like I said, really quickly, if we type in Bible quotes, Proverbs, right? Fools, right? We're just going to go through it quickly. This is the unteachable case. It describes it. I'm going to go through one screenshot at a time. The wisdom of the prudent is to his understand his ways, but the folly fools is deceit. Next one. A fool does not delight in understanding, but only in airing his opinions. Proverbs 18:2. A wise man goes to court with a fool, there be raving and laughing with no resolution. Proverbs 29:9. The way of the fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. Proverbs 12:15. I'm the counsel, I'm the wise one. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool. Whoever walks wisely will be delivered. Proverbs 28:26. It literally talks about the unteachable case and these other Latinos shooting down ideas on Reddit who are complete fucking fools. They're not using the word zombies or in the Bible or sociopaths or anything like that. I'm not calling them sociopaths, but the patterns is very similar. These are fucking fools. There is desirable treasure and oil of the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. That means they bench their money. Proverbs 21:20. I'm just randomly looking through stuff. I'm just pressing the next button. It's not like I'm picking and choosing. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. Proverbs 18:2. Do not speak to a fool, for he'll despise the wisdom of your words. Just like another Latino who shot down every idea. Oh, Krav Maga is not a real martial art. You just learn something online. Well, he just shoots down ideas like the Iron Dome, Proverbs 23:9. Even the fool is considered wise if he kept silent, like the other guy, right? And discerning when he holds his tongue. Proverbs 17:28 instead of a fucking hit piece. The way of the fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to counsel. Proverbs 12:15. A fool vents all his anger, just like the hit piece, and a wise man holds it back. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be like him. So if I try to answer back and try to defend myself, it's like a shit test, then I'll lose. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge, all right, but the mouth of the fools pour out foolishness, just like the other tall samurai Latinos who failed. Fools' words get them into constant quarrels. They are asking for a beating. Proverbs 18:6. That's why they keep losing. You can't reason with a fool because fools are unreasonable. Proverbs 29:9. Don't you get it? A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his own opinion. Proverbs 18:2. Maybe I should make a YouTube live in the first channel and talk about this. Stay away from fools, for you will not find knowledge on their lips. Proverbs 14:7. Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise brings calm in the end. Proverbs 29:11. This is a very good book. I'm going to stop here for the Proverbs, okay? This is a wonderful book. If you guys could listen to Proverbs and maybe go on YouTube and listen to the whole thing, right? I always tell this to evil people, but they never listen to it. But when they listen to it, their life profoundly changes. This is written by King Solomon. King Solomon is a guy who was dumb as shit, right? But he asked Jesus, Jesus, can I please have like wisdom to be the wisest man on earth? And then God's like, yeah, sure, right? And then afterwards, he had like 500 wives. He starts following other religions a little bit, and then God turned him into a fucking cow eating grass for like many years. And then he wakes up one day and is like, "Oh shit, I fucked up." I don't want to swear, right? I don't want. They don't call it swearing up there; they call it cursing. I don't want to curse, right? When I'm talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. But that's what happened with King Solomon, the guy who has more wives than anybody. He became wise, but when he wrote his Proverbs, it makes so much sense. It sounds like somebody writing it today. It does. So, and whenever I'm talking, right, it's like pure. You guys learn a lot. It's just like the Bible. Whenever you hear it, it enriches your soul. Whenever you hear me about Daygame, you get full clarity because other students are proposing to his girlfriend, right? If you guys remember, this Indian guy, he's gonna propose to his girlfriend. He already told the group, Elite Daygame first steps. We'll play his testimonial. I know you guys don't like me doing that, but I think it's fine because will be very quick, okay? But he's gonna propose. So I don't know when he's gonna get married. He has to get the ring first. But that's awesome, isn't it? If my students are because the first time the other guy crashed out, the fool, he crashed out because he learned another student who got married with an actress with 15 lays, 5 models, 5 white girls, 2 actresses. He found out the other guy got married and he procreated and he rage quit because he beat himself up, self-loathing. Well, now he can self-loathe on the second student who's going to get married and procreate. This guy.
Guys, and how it changed my life. And
Give a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Different programs, different coaches, and it's all trying to look at themselves and saying, this program will change your life. You need to follow this program. But I actually have got the results from it. Today is Wednesday, and I got results yesterday. It was Tuesday. It was actually on the night, then Tuesday as well.
It's 2025.
Actually, my first white girlfriend.
This is 2025. I forgot which month. Was it April or May? It doesn't matter. But I just found out in August that he's gonna propose, and he told everyone in the like Elite Daygame first steps. They told everyone that he wants to do that.
And this is quite change for me, I think, in the guy living in the UK because I never thought it would be possible. And yet,
That's the UK, right? Another guy, Kim Jong Un, over here, right in the comment section, is another Indian guy who's from London. He's going to help me build my next course, which is called "Don't Turn MGTOW." When we look at the votes on the first channel on the YouTube, it's getting worse. Believe it or not, is shocking. It's shocking. So if we look at the votes of why people are not training with me right now, okay, and I scroll down just to make sure it's not bullshit. It is horrific right here. So you can kind of see there's votes. What does it say? You wouldn't believe this. We have to do something. We have to make a course. Is the economy affecting your motivation for Daygame? Broke, debt, and tariff. I want to know the answer, but they're giving me something that is fucking shocking. But shit, 45% says yes, turning MGTOW, unfortunately, focus on work. Because Donald Trump tariff. They don't say it. Number two, no, still interested in Daygame. Still have some fight left. 18%. That's one fucking person voted that they're still into Daygame. The rest has fucking quit. We have to do something. John Elite has to save these people. You're like, well, why do you care? They turn their back on you. You think Jesus will turn your back on people? No. What would Jesus do? He would try to save as many people as possible. I know Moses killed half of the fucking sheep, the worshippers who worship the golden calf, but Jesus is not going to do that. Jesus will help everybody. I'm going to have to save these people so they don't quit. Because if they quit right now, they turn into MGTOW. I won't have any fucking like day gamers to teach. This is an emergency. We have to fucking do something. So Kim Jong Un, I'm not sure he's here or not. He's going to help me. We're going to film this course together. We're going to field test everything with him. He's already approaching again. Before he could not approach because he turned MGTOW. Now he's approaching, but he's going to like, his mind's going to fight back. The low self-esteem is going to fight back. I'm going to split test this with him and the other students until he can actually make 30 days of approaches. That's it. That's a victory without missing more than 2 days. If he can do that. Who's interested in this course? I wonder if we can make a poll here, right? I'm not even sure how. Engage with your audience. Let's see. Start a poll. Okay? Yes or no? So I'm going to write something. Would you buy for $50? Don't turn prep course, right? For my day game training. So before you even get Elite Bundle Resurrections, I was thinking about the hater, right? What did he need to do? I know unteachable cases, they're not coachable. I get it. But what did he need? He needed resilience. He needed to make sure he can manage his money. He shot down the ideas. Oh, but I got my own way. Like, oh, for fuck's sakes. This is the first poll I ever made. Okay? Let's see if it works. New poll, right? Would you guys, $50, don't turn MGTOW prep course, would you buy it? Yes or no? Vote for it. I'm one of the biggest fools ever. Maybe you should be getting this prep course, even if you're not going to be a day gamer, right? But you still need to fix this for other things in your life. Who's willing to get the prep course? Yes. Keep voting for it. We'll see how many people votes for it. I don't know how many people vote for it. I don't know the data. I'm not going to end the poll yet, but keep voting. Everyone just vote. If you vote no, then please vote no. That you're not interested and you give up day game and then whatever. But if you're interested, right, for $50, it's not $1,000. This one will be deducted if you get Elite Bundle Resurrections. It'll be deducted $50. I want to see if it's a validated concept. So one person vote no, one person vote yes. Keep voting, guys. There's no wrong answers. If there's enough people that are interested, we'll go ahead and do it. I was just going to buy school, right? Not like for like $9 a month and then host this course, but I don't want to host it on there. I want to own the entire platform. So this thing will be hosted on your WhatsApp and also a Google Drive as usual and YouTube private videos. We want ownership of our own products. We don't want school to be partially owning it. Right now it's 50-50. Keep voting, guys. All right. But basically, 50-50. Okay. I'll tell other people, right? I made a poll on the stream. There's going to be a new course called Don't Turn MagTel. Is this something you'll be interested in? Because most people are quitting because of the tariff. We'll see who votes for it. Okay. But I'll pitch this to other people and see if they're interested before we even get started, before we film a single thing. Because I know it's necessary, but they may not know it. But if they do quit, that's gonna be fucking bad. So, as I was saying for the polls, okay, on the main channel, as I said already, and this is horrific, by the way. I never expected that. 45% voted that they turn MedTel. One vote, right? No, still interested in Daygame, 18%. Zero voted for super depressed dude by tariffs and economy, possible recession. And then 36% says no, just turn off by you and false rumors. Those are not my audience. Those are the sheepos, the worshippers. All right. So far, we just let the poll place, but we have to do something, right? We can't let people fucking quit. We got to get them back out there. We got to educate them. You know, these stupid sheeps. So, anyways, I was talking about Elite Bundle Resurrections. It built habits in 21 days. Most of my courses, 21 days. Yeah, we get it, right? You know what? Maybe I should not pitch this one right now. I don't feel like pitching this course. I'm very interested in this MagTel course. Don't turn MagTel. Let's talk about it. My plan is to have a $50 course and see who's interested, and just text me. Whoever's interested. I'll write a sales letter. I'll put my website right now. As soon as I'm done this, we're gonna pitch it to people in the no. So only one person wants it. I hope it's not the hater voting no, that people don't want this. How to unquit Daygame? Maybe we should change the title. So far, 67 said no, 33% says yes. Right? I don't know how many people voted. It's 4 minutes already. But it seems to be like we have to validate first before I even make a course. I won't make a course unless I make it like I'm not going to make it free because they're not going to take it seriously. The lowest I can go is $50. Maybe the pricing is the issue. I don't know. We'll vote on the price in the future. I'll put it on my other sites. I want to make it $50 because it's also going to come with Elite Day Game first steps and come with Elite Focus for day gamers. So you gain 2 bonus courses. You get 2 bonus courses, not just like you get 3 courses in one. The other course is already $50 by itself for Elite Focus for day gamers. People bought it for $50 each, and it's changed their life. One guy's made several $1,000s from it, like 4,000. This will be included too. And the ones who already have Elite Day Game or first steps, right? Or should we say that you can have this course or these 2 courses if you go in the webinar, even if you don't have much money? But the point is, okay, so it seems like right now we're going to ask everyone. I'll ask everyone if they want a course to learn how to stop quitting and how much would they pay for it. I could text everybody. But I strongly believe that we have to do this. Otherwise, we'll have nobody left if they all give up. Don't act like animals or like zombies. We need day gamers out there. If I were to get more lay testimonials, we need good students. We just need students that are prepared, a prep course. So if you want to pay for the courses, you get early access to it. There's less people here. There's 4 people. Can please vote? We'd be interested in a course that turns you like, don't turn MGTOW. So because people are turning to MGTOW right now, they're voting for it. If we can just make sure they don't turn MGTOW with a course, then they can get back to approaching. And then this will be discounted from Elite Bundle Resurrections if you want to train with me. Who's interested in a course like that? We'll go over all the details. For an Indian student, I actually got him to approach again. I taught him all the secrets to get his mind working again. He's actually approaching, which is crazy. He could not approach for the last year, the whole year, just been bench holding. Now he's able to approach after like 1 hour Skype. After he put more money for 3MP for financing, I gave him a Skype, and then he was able to approach like nonstop. It's already figured out. It's just a matter of like getting into the right hands of people. If I made it for free, right, people or $5, people may not actually want to get it. But however, they might think that I have low ticket courses. However, if we make it a certain price, maybe not 50, maybe we can go lower. Just vote for it. All right. I'm going to end the stream very soon. Any final questions about the course that I'm thinking about doing? I'm not sure if I am, but I need to do it. Something tells me in my soul, right, for the next 1.5 years, if we don't make this course, everyone's going to quit. There's only one person that voted that's still approaching. That's not good. They're all gone. Right? And if we do that, we're going to end the tree of life. Only the people that have enough money that can afford my coaching are going to get laid. Unless you're an unteachable case. This is not good. Like, I'm really upset by this. You can see this topic's really upsetting me, that I want to do something. If I have the power to do something to help people, I would fucking do it. But for free, they're not even going to pay attention. But you guys are voting no. So I don't know. I wonder if I can edit the poll. Maybe I did not phrase it properly. But yeah. Did we play enough of this, guys? Let's continue.
Where they're more confident, more attractive.
I'll play faster.
Movies, you will always make the white one. You see the Asian guys not being presented, and you don't see, the Asian or Indian guys being presented in an attractive way. And growing up, I always felt this way, and also realized what was in Hollywood. Even Asian guys sometimes look better and think like the modern movie. What is it? Hygiene of the things. Even the Asian guys, especially if you take the Indian guys, always can take 20 so on and so forth. And I don't believe that. So I never really have any confidence growing up. And I also, was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome and autism as well. So
lots of students are diagnosed, right? Whenever I tell people that they might have these things, there's always true. So whenever I say, "Oh, John can't diagnose," I'm not diagnosing people. I'm just describing your symptoms. It's always accurate. I told this guy is like extremely Asperger's.
all this was difficult for me to surpass to protect. Also, from the result of everything, it's crazy to actually achieve this. Needing time is very emotional for me. Because I never thought it would be possible. I never thought it would be possible to speak, perhaps, without stuttering, without the confidence. And this time is something because he has tested everything. And that's the suggested he told me to get this program, which is already got into, which includes the hero. These are the social skills which told me how to talk, how to talk about language. And he has to just get that from job. She's telling me about my notes. This was something I did for much of the answer. This was the only involved in what I should do to have someone there to guide me. And John focuses on minorities as well, because I love his other students. Our goals are successful and so minorities. Jewish or black, they can't have or Indian or any Chinese tradition, Filipino, Indian, especially because it's so difficult. It's so difficult to actually achieve realize how far the country I managed to do this. So the work with this, what I actually was about how to do was that I really difficult and then I think the reality is very glad to do that. So we didn't really study the process. It's really also involved only to cover something and then we can do a lot of focus and I joined the and more years after this resource AI is probably 4 years. And all of this is good. It's really good to learn. The real proof is in the results. And as I told you previously, and I'm very happy with your career now. And I believe this will because I did one story. I did one to customer care now. Thank you for thank you for this with me. Thank you for being my coach and answering them to this clubhouse. Thank you for sharing that. Being in the it's not even the same as people in the guys that you become more than the guy that told you not to make it people. You look at the Big Bang Theory, you really feel it, and the guy can make it to go and get the white girl. And thank you, John, for sharing that.
Is that amazing? He's gonna get married. He's gonna propose very soon. I don't know when, but he's gonna propose. Had he listened to the hater, he's gonna lose out his opportunity to get a white girlfriend, which the hater wanted. That's all I'm saying. Any final questions before we go? Any final questions about any of this text game? But I hope that right now, after this video, forever, for the rest of your lives, that you have 100% clarity. You heard all the truth from the horse's mouth. The guy with 666 day game late and po testimonials nobody else can get. These are all the secrets. These are the only guys who can use text game, and these are the guys who cannot. You know everything now. Nobody can give you this information except for me. Everyone will lie to you to sell their text game courses. I'm telling you the cold hard truth that nobody in the world will want to hear. But this is the whole fucking truth. No exaggerations, nothing. No spinning of information. This is the truth. So who's giving like a laughing emoji? Is that the hater? You know what's funny? What's funny is that my students keep getting laid and you're jealous. That's the funny thing. You beat yourself up every single time they get laid. So there's plenty of times to beat yourself up because you're self-loathing. You're a loser. You're losers. Like if you can't win, then nobody else can win, right? It's like, well, no, they're gonna keep winning. You're gonna keep losing because you're part of the loser effect. Because you're a fool, according to the Bible. A complete fool. And you don't even know it. That's the problem. When you're a fool and you don't know it, that's the worst thing. And when you're in denial. So only 3 votes. All right, there are some likes and there's some like whatever laughing and some likes. I don't know why it keeps popping up like that, but I wonder if you can press a button and it just keeps doing that. Let me try to press it. I'll put 100%. No, it just keeps going upwards. Okay. Then put heart. Okay, that's kind of weird. All right, stop pressing the button. It's distracting, right? It's fucking distracting. Anyways, but yeah, that's the truth. So, any more questions about text game? I'm gonna end it right now. Just end it on a high note. We make it too long, people will not be able to focus. All right. Well, anyways, there's only 3 people that vote on the poll, right? 1 person probably voted yes. 2 people voted no. That's where the number percentage comes from. We'll see at the end. Anyways, thank you for being here. Tomorrow's topic, we got to figure out which one we want to make a topic of, right? So what's tomorrow's topic? According to the votes, right? The next topic is going to be like does humor matter for day game or self-amusement, right? Also, does text game work for day game? We already got that one, right? How to deal with shit tests, we got this one. Night game, okay. Day game versus night game, okay. Somebody vote on that, that's good. So does humor work for day game, for self-amusing? And what's the other vote? Yeah, does text game work? We got this one. How to deal with shit tests, we got this one. Day game versus night game, okay. We can talk about that, but self-amusement is a bigger one. People may not always be here for game topics because they're not gaming, but maybe we should talk about day game versus night game first. I'll write a script tomorrow right before I'm on here. So it's completely freestyled almost. It's just like I write it last minute. I don't get time to think about how to make it more politically correct or try to market better. You guys just get the truth. Now in the future, when somebody asks me, "Hey, John, does text game work?" I'm just gonna shove this video in their face and saying, "Watch this video; it'll answer all your questions." Now you guys know. Anyways, have a good day. Ciao.